Will there be a QE3? Joining me to talk about this today is Brien Lundin. He's the organizer behind the New Orleans Investment Conference and the editor of the Gold newsletter. He joins me today. Brien, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Brien, before we get to the topic of QE3, just want to look at what we saw with gold this week. What are your thoughts? We saw it suffering a bit. What's your opinion?
Well, the U.S. economy is strengthening, and the troubles in Europe appear to at least reach some type of a near-term solution. Essentially, the market believes that QE3 either won't happen or won't happen anytime soon, and that's weighed heavily on gold and the precious metals, and in really all commodities.
So, Brien, you think that geopolitical tensions have somewhat eased, and that's not playing in gold's favor?
Well, geopolitically, and that's primarily Iran at this point, those tensions have remained and keep the oil market somewhat elevated. But it's a monetary issue for the rest of the commodity sector. It's a monetary issue and a Chinese growth issue. We've seen actually some evidence of dampening inflationary pressures in China and a bit slower economic growth. So that's affected the commodity sector a bit. But for gold and precious metals, primarily it's been the new understanding, a new consensus that QE3 is something we won't see in the very near future.
Brien, you mentioned crude oil, and we usually see oil and gold rise in tandem, not happening this time, however.
Well, we've seen a number of fairly steady correlations between gold and oil and gold and equities over the past couple of years. That's kind of broken right now because gold is really dependent from a speculative standpoint on the prospects of further quantitative easing. And there's been a growing consensus that we won't see that in the near future.
Brien, really looking at QE3 now, do you personally think it will happen?
It all depends on the economic prospects of the U.S., and it looks like we'll see positive economic data for probably another 2 or 3 months at least. So we probably will not see any quantitative easing until there's some signs of an economic slowdown in the U.S. And I wouldn't look at that until possibly late spring or early summer at the earliest.
Looking at all the metals right now, Brien, which one would you be playing right now?
I like silver right now. I like gold, of course, and it has to be a fundamental foundation in any precious metals portfolio. But for people who want to play the swings in the metals, who want to buy on these periodic dips, so you can get a better bargain, and on the next rally, silver will move further than gold, or should, and it just presents a greater opportunity for profit for precious metals traders.
Finally, Brien, you are the face behind the New Orleans Investment Conference, and Kitco always goes down to New Orleans to cover it. What can we expect this year? Why should people be attending?
Well, it's going to be right before the U.S. elections, and we're assembling one of the greatest faculty ever assembled as far as geopolitical analysis and economic analysis. And literally will be just a few days before the presidential election. And this is widely considered to be the most important presidential election in really decades. There's a fundamental for investors. There's really a black and white future ahead of them, dependent upon which way this election falls.
Right. So for those who would like more information, Brien, where do they go?
They can go to neworleansconference.com very simply and get all the information on this year's event.
All right. neworleansconference.com. Brien, thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniela.
And thank you for watching Kitco News. You can email me your comments and news feedback at kitco.com.